This is NNN. Good evening. It's April 24th, and this is the Norval News Network, the network that answers the question, what's new at Norval? I'm your host, Mr. LG, and this week our stories will take you from turkey vultures to wild turkeys, from rainbow trout to trout lilies, and from skipping stones to gratitude stones. This week, Ms. Corley shows us how to have fun at any nearby creek or river. All you need is a rock and a little bit of practice.
Mr. LG, I'm here at the Norval Bridge over the Credit River, and we've seen some major changes to the river this spring. So we're going to go down and take a closer look at what's happened. Where I'm walking right now, about a month ago, it was actually underwater. Every spring, the Credit River floods with all the snow melting and the spring rain, and it has exposed all of these beautiful rocks. And now we can take a closer look and maybe find some really cool things. We found a lot of really cool rocks along here so far. About 400 million years ago, all of southern Ontario used to be underneath a gigantic sea. Even though it's not here today, we can look at rocks and fossils to find evidence of what used to be here. So I've actually found a really cool fossil just on the shores of our Credit River here that looks almost like a little snail. So if you want to come and take a closer look, you can see. I'm going to spend some time down here looking for fossils, maybe skip some rocks, and we're going to head over to Mr. Evans and see what he's been up to with rocks this week.
Mr. Evans and his family have found another really great use for rocks from your backyard. Let's see what they're up to.
Hi there. Thanks, Mr. LG. UCC boys, right now what I'm doing is I'm looking for rocks. This rock is going to be very special. First step, find the rocks in your backyard or any place around your house that you know that you have rocks. Look throughout nature, find the perfect rocks. Once you find them, dry them out. Take them, put them in the hot sun, get them nice and dry, or like I had to do with my kids, it was rainy, so we put it in the oven. We put it on low, let them cook up nice, got all the water off. Then paint them. Paint them beautiful colors. Once you finish painting them and they're completely dry, put down some words on it. We call them gratitude stones. And then the final step is placing those gratitude stones in someplace special. My kids chose to put their gratitude stones in a very special place. It's just back here, just on the other side of this wall. Let's go check it out. My kids chose to make a difference to the people around the mailbox area, just because our community comes and gets the mail here, as well as the post office is still delivering mail during this time. So just to say thank you. So we cleaned up the whole area and then painted some rocks to make people feel a little bit better as they come and get their mail. Give it a try, grab a rock today, paint it up, and write a nice message on it. You can make a difference to your community.
This week, I discovered a little something fishy going on at Norval that I'd like to share with you.
Down the driveway at Norval, we crossed over this little creek that we call No Name Creek. And something really interesting has happened down there that I want to show you. So come with me. All the debris. Look at all those sticks that are caught up high there. That's from a flood that came about 3 weeks ago. Where I'm standing now, I would have been up to my hips in water practically. So check out this little pond. It's not very big now, but in the flood this would have been massive. And the water had been so deep that this creek would have seemed more like a river. And it just so happened that the same time that this creek was flooding, rainbow trout were swimming up the Credit River looking for a place to spawn. So these steelheads have a problem. And their problem is this. They're stuck. They're stuck. You see, here's the pond. You can see there's the little trickle of water that's going out of this. So nowhere near deep enough for a rainbow trout to swim. We need a lot more water before that fish can make it to safety. Problem number 2 is they can't just sit and wait safely. There are predators around that want to have them for a meal. And here's some footprints right outside the pond. See, looking up, and there's our steelhead right over there by the rock. Yeah, there it is. So the trout are in a sticky situation. They're stuck in this pond until the next big rainstorm comes, and they've got predators that want to eat them. And they also need to get enough food to keep them alive until they can escape from this pond. They've spawned, which is half the job, but can they get out, which is the other half. Just found this downstream. Looks like it tried to go into the shallow waters to escape. Look at how it's all bruised on the bottom of its body there. So it probably got too impatient. I thought I need to try and go downstream, and got stuck in here, couldn't get out, and died. All right, team, we're gonna try a little experiment. We have that unfortunate steelhead in the river right there. I don't think the animals have found him yet. So I've set up over here a trail camera. A trail camera is a camera that's motion sensitive, and we're gonna leave that there for a couple of days. And let's just see if anything comes to check out that fish.
So first on the scene is this crow that starts to nibble at the fish, but pretty soon it's edged out by this giant turkey vulture. Turkey vultures, that's what they do, is eat dead meat. So a second one shows up pretty soon, followed by a third turkey vulture that arrives. And pretty soon there's 4 turkey vultures on the scene, all interested in that rainbow trout. But you can see turkey vultures don't like to share, and that one big turkey vulture wants it all for itself. So over the course of the day, the turkey vultures continue to nibble away at that fish till there's not much left. Only a few scraps for this raccoon to maybe eat as it comes by after the turkey vultures have left in the evening. The next morning, the turkey vultures and the crows are back to find what little bit they can. You can see, look, there's barely any of that rainbow trout left. Hard to believe that big fish is now all part of the food chain. Did you know you could pick plants from your backyard and eat them as part of a salad? Ms. Buckle does, and she's going to tell us some hints for how to make the best outdoor salad ever. Over to you, Ms. Buckle.
Thanks, Mr. Algae. Unfortunately, there are no trout here in the creek just outside of Stratford, Ontario. There's lots of rocks, leaves, and branches, but no trout here. See if we can find some trout somewhere else in the forest. Now, it might not be the trout that we were originally thinking of, but what we have here is a plant that is called trout lily, and it gets its name from the pattern that is found on its leaf. It's speckled like a trout. Now, what is extra special about these little tiny leaves is that they are edible and make a delicious addition to a salad. So I'm gonna pick a few of these leaves today, and I will put them in my salad for dinner tonight. Voila, let's mix this salad up and it will be ready to serve. Back to you, Mr. LG.
This week, Norval teacher, Mr. Parcher, steps into a field just behind his house to tell us how wild turkeys came back from the brink of extinction and why eating wild turkey is a game changer.
Hi UCC boys. In this 3-part series I'm going to teach you how to turkey hunt in Ontario and how you, if you're interested, could become a hunter in Ontario. If this is something that you don't feel comfortable with, please feel free not to watch this section of the video, but there won't be anything in regards to killing or shooting or anything like that. It'll just be the knowledge behind how to turkey hunt. So if this is something you're going to find interesting, this 3-part series will be included in the next 3 Norval News Network. Hi UCC boys, it's Mr. Parcher here. One of the things that I really like to do in my spare time is go hunting, and I like to try to source as much of my own meat as I can. And this Saturday, the 25th of April, is opening of turkey season. Now, turkeys in Ontario were extirpated in the early 1900s, meaning that they were extinct locally, and they were reintroduced in the 1980s, and they were actually traded for moose from some states, and all the turkeys that you see in Ontario now are from those few that were initially released in the 1980s in Renfrew County. Now, turkeys are interesting because they have almost a 360-degree field of vision. So when you're hunting turkeys, you got to make sure that you stay very, very still, or they'll be able to pick you up and see you really quickly. Now, you can see behind me, we're in a bean field. This field is backing onto our property where my wife and I live, and we have exclusive permission to hunt it. When you're hunting turkeys, you got to spend a lot of time looking around and trying to find where the birds are, and then go in and ask permission to be able to hunt the land. If you ever see a red dot on the background of like a white little square, that's a no trespassing sign. And as well, you always want to make sure that you get permission before accessing any property. Now, over the next few days, I'm going to put together parts 1, 2, and 3 about turkey hunting. And if you'd like to join in and follow along and see how I turkey hunt and see if I'm successful, feel free to do so and watch these videos.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of the Norval News Network. From all of us at Norval, we hope that all of you are safe and well, and don't forget to make time to have fun outdoors. See you next week.